Good evening, mortals. I am a vampire critic. Okay, no, I'm just bored. I've been to see a certain movie tonight. I have the tie from my little nostalgia critic sketch from the last episode. So, here I am. Thankfully, because of Lauren, and she works at Cineworld, I've been able to procure free tickets for tonight's showing of The Vampire's Assistant. And it is WRONG! 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 I do apologise, that was a bit of a fanboy moment. But, wow. Just, wow. People bitch and moan and complain about how bad the Twilight film was. About how they've missed out so many things in the Harry Potter films. But this is fuck. So I suppose I should... Where did you come from?
I just came in the door.
Stop pointing out flaws. This would be Lauren, everybody.
Hiya!
She heard me shouting while doing practice, so...
Yeah, I'm not kind of concerned, to be honest, but yeah.
Why should you be concerned? You know I'm clinically insane.
Yeah, I know, it was quite worrying the way you were just like, ah! I was sitting typing away, and suddenly I hear, like, this muffling. And I was like, what? In fact, yeah, I just found out that apparently something really disturbing and yucky just happened on EastEnders this evening, and I was like, ew. But yeah, and then I heard him shouting, and
Can we go back to
investigate?
Can we talk about the movie now?
We have to.
Yes, we did.
It was a bit crap. There we go. Just kind of
Tiny bit. First, I suppose I should talk about the story. For those who have read the book, they will be happy to know that a lot of it has been kept intact. About the first 3 minutes of the film. Then I lost the plot. Completely.
So did I, and I haven't read the books.
I'm not going to spoil the storyline for anyone who hasn't seen the film or read the book, so I'd suggest reading the books. The film stars a young man known as... Okay, that sounds perverted. A young... as Darren.
Wow. Not Darren Hayes, unfortunately, but there we go.
Unfortunate for some.
Yeah, he's a legend.
Whatever. So, we begin the film that essentially near the bit that bridges the first book to the second, in that Darren is in the coffin and all his family are there, etc., etc., and he starts explaining about all the stuff that's happened, and then the quite...
Where's the camera boy? Is it that? It is that. So you have to start again, aren't you?
Fanboy complaint. He introduces Steve, but doesn't give him the nickname that has been given to him in the books, which she won't know about. In the books, he is known as Steve Leopard, through something which I can't remember. I haven't read the book.
Alright, so they cut that out of it, but then they added more crap in that didn't even exist in the book in the first place. Okay.
Then comes the second part of the film that kind of ruins every expectation of the book. Cuss words. Lots.
And lots.
Of cuss words.
There weren't that many. It was only like bullshit and... yeah, you just used shit twice. That was it, wasn't it?
You didn't pay attention to the film, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Well, throughout definitely the first quarter of the book...
no, there was 2 or 3 swear words, but I didn't hear anything.
There was a lot... I mean, I know it doesn't really count as much, but there was a lot of crap and a lot of shit, and it was like, why was that needed? Purpose movie?
You know,
Purpose?
Well, it's the fact, you know, they made it into a kids movie and then put swear words in it. It's like, because swearing's cool, kids. Really? Go on, try it out.
The whole feel of the film was, I'd say, slightly different from the books, but more incredibly different from the books. It's a kids' film.
With swear words in it.
With swear words. Ding!
The books.
The books kind of made it sort of dark and kind of creepy. I wouldn't exactly say scary, although some of the bits were scary, I will admit. Not for me though, totally not.
It was you telling me that there was going to be all these big spiders in it, and there was this tiny little blue spider, which is actually quite cute. It's funny. There we go.
But see, yeah, that kind of brings me on to a certain point about the film, the CGI.
Oh no, don't even get me started on that. I hadn't even read the books, and even I thought it was rubbish. Right, there was this bit where there was a man with this huge head, literally. It was like this. It was like, you know, it's supposed to be under a top hat. But it looked like they just stuck it in Photoshop and just stretched it. I mean, it just looked so ridiculous. I was really pissed off about that. I actually laughed about that in the cinema.
There was a couple of people who laughed about it in the cinema.
I heard a few people laughing for it, but I don't know if that's because they're laughing because it was funny or whether they were laughing at it to mock it.
Which kind of brings me on to my second point. I remember a couple of humorous bits in the film, but nothing laugh out loud funny.
LOL!
And no, in the book. In the book there was no laugh out loud moments. In the film...
You laughed at it because it was ridiculous.
Yeah. The tone has just completely changed. Not to mention, around about halfway through the film, I turned to Lauren and said, I don't know what's going on anymore.
Oh, I didn't either.
The film literally just completely changed from the books when Darren is dug out from the coffin at the end of the first book. And it was so difficult to follow after that. I could not expect anything that was going to happen afterwards. It was just so odd to not know what was going on.
It's an illusion!
Thank you.
But it was.
Yes. But still. And then there's the inclusion of characters, removal of characters. For those who do know the books, Steve is in the whole way through, even in the dramatic end.
It wasn't dramatic.
It wasn't.
Literally, you had a freeze frame where there was these two idiots like this at each other, but it was all really blurry. Another example of the rubbish cinematics. I think that was the point where we actually heard people laughing out loud at the back row.
Mm.
Because it was actually quite comical, and
Indeed.
it probably shouldn't have been, but it was.
It was.
And seriously,
This is what Darren Shan looks like.
what a shadow. Okay.
It is... Okay, admittedly there's not a lot to look at here, but it is still dark, it is still... It's kind of interesting, right?
And it calls it blood curdling on the back.
Exactly.
And that movie wasn't blood curdling.
Nothing about the film
It was stomach
relates to the
curdling,
books.
maybe, but not blood curdling.
It changed this like kind of cool vampire series into a childish
A rip-off of Twilight.
except crap.
Yeah, exactly. They just jumped on the bandwagon. Because everyone's doing that nowadays.
Literally,
it's cool.
In fact, if anything, no, it's lowering the bandwagon. A lot of teenagers have been on the vampire bandwagon lately. Now it's bringing kids onto it as well. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Give me a word.
Splendiferously disgusting.
So, I know I haven't spoken about it much, but this film is shit.
Nicely put. I couldn't agree anymore.
I'm not the vampire critic. This is a pain in the arse. Good night.